Howdy ho Maplers, and welcome to Yeti x Pink Bean World. I'll try to keep this video quick since it's just a temporary event and people just want to know what to do and how to do it. For the gear, you need all of these pieces to reach 140 Star Force in order to train at Star Force Aliens, which is the map I'll be recommending for your highest level area. So the gear in order. From the NLC questline at level 170, you can get the Treasure Hunter's John ring. You need to do the first 3 quests for Lita Lawless, and she will give you the NLC coin you need to buy this. Nice and easy, you get it done in less than 10 minutes, boom bam. For the other ring, the Platinum Cross Ring is the final reward you'll get from doing the Arcarium pre-quest line up until the point they teleport you to Temple of Time. You don't need to go any further beyond that. And as well from the Silent Crusade questline, with the coins you get throughout the questline from killing the boss and turning in the quests. From the Silent Crusade shop in Edelstein, you can buy the Mystic Belt, which is a 10-starable belt, and the Veteran Crusader Shoulder, which is a 5-starable shoulder. You cannot do Magnus or Easy Magnus in the Yeti x Pink Bean world, so you can't get a black metal shoulder. This is pretty much the easiest alternative. As well, kill 3 birds with 1 stone just by doing a 15-minute pre-quest. For the other accessories, from the from the boss accessory box that you get from the step up mission, you will get the Silver Blossom Ring, the Dominator Pendant, the Condensed Power Crystal, and the Deceptive earrings. Nice and easy, you just get this for doing your step up missions. There's almost no effort required to get it, and these are pretty nice because the Dominator Pendant and the Deceptive earrings are boss accessories, so they get good flames. If you have leftover mesas after scrolling, star forcing, and potentialing your gear, throw some extra flames at these dudes after your weapon. For the armor, you can just stick with the Frozen set the entire way through. Both Yeti and Pink Bean will have more than enough damage so long as you roll either 6 or 9% stat if you're really lucky on these. Don't need to worry about the scrolling, just throw 100% scrolls at these things. Don't gamble, don't get scammed. Star Force them to max. Very nice. For the gloves and the boots, it doesn't really matter what you get, however, make sure the items are at least level 100 so that you can 10-star them. That's really the only important part of these. And the eye accessory, the final accessory. If you're really lucky, you can get Zakum's eye accessory, which is the best thing you can get. However, I did Zakum 5 times so far in the server, didn't see it once, so maybe if you're luckier than me. However, I would just recommend going through the Fairy Academy theme dungeon because it's also part of my training guide, and you'll get this just for free as a reward for completing that. For the weapon, you'll have a frozen weapon through the same set that you get the frozen armor, which just slap on an epic pot. Get like 6% attack. Don't invest too heavily in it, just 100% trace it, Star Force it so that you have something decent. But at level 150, you'll be getting a Fafnir weapon from the step up missions. This is around the same time that you're going to get 100 black cubes from the same step up missions. So just invest most of those black cubes into this weapon. Ideally, you want as much attack as possible. Second most important line is crit rate. Boss damage really isn't necessary. Both Pink Bean and Yeti have way more than enough damage at like level 160 and beyond to kill Chaos Horntail. It's not that threatening. It's not a scary boss. It's just really annoying because he will chain seduce you like a motherfucker. For the inner ability, both for Pink Bean and Yeti, the best line to roll is 20% cooldown skip. However, you gotta get pretty lucky and actually get a legendary ability to get that. So beyond that, I would recommend just rolling for crit rate. Having consistent damage lines makes your ease of training so much higher when you don't have to worry about randomness and you one-shotting a mob with your skills or not. For the training locations, for a lot of these, I like to stay off the beaten path when I'm training in these event servers because I just don't like dealing with chaosing or crowds of people or CCing a lot for a map. So for levels 1 to 30, I headed over to the Savage Terminal. You're not going to have a Hyper Rock for these levels right away, but from Hennessy's, you can go to the Dimensional Gate to Pantheon, and then from Pantheon, you can go to Savage Terminal, and then bop skip 2 maps over. You can start training at Nutrias. They're nice low-level rats, they're ugly little duders, but this map is pretty large, it has quite a bit of mobs, and it is very off the beaten path for a lot of people, so you're not really going to run into any contention over a training area over here. And you can stay in this map all the way until level 30. It is very nice, especially for Yeti, because your hitboxes are ginormous. It's a very nice map. And this will carry you on into the theme dungeon gambit. For levels 30 through 70, I would honestly just recommend doing all 4 of the theme dungeons. Riena Strait, Fairy Academy, Gold Beach, and Mushroom Kingdom. Fairy Academy is the only one on there that is strictly required so that you can get the eye accessory. So if you want to just train and only do one of the theme dungeons, you can hop over one more map and fight the level 33 maps over here, the level 33 rats over here. These will carry you on until level 45, and then you can run the theme dungeon and go into Mushroom Kingdom afterwards. And that will carry you on until level 70. For level 70 until level 90, continuing the theme of staying way off the beaten path, I would highly recommend the Meerkats just outside of Ariant. This map is quite long, but it has a very nice flow to it because there is a very convenient portal that will take you right back to the start. All you have to do is mob in one direction. Oh, there's a guy here, so I don't want to be KSing, but just mob yourself in one direction. Use your skills on cooldown, especially if you're Yeti. Make sure you're using your smart skills to build up rage, and just keep on jumping left. This map will carry you into level 90 real quick. It's very off the beaten path. Not too many people actually come here, so you're not going to be CCing a bunch to find a map. And then from level 90 until level 100, we'll move our way into Leafre for the Burning Field. That's pretty much the only reason you want to move up here. Burning fields are pretty handy. However, a lot of them at this point are kind of disappearing. You have a lot of options, however. Rashes, dark rashes, beetles, dual beetles, hobbies, and green hobbies, as well as my recommendation of the area of the blue Kentauruses. Pretty much just find one you like, pick it, and stick to it. I like the blue Kents because it's way off the beaten path. People kind of tend to forget this map exists. It's very, very good, and it still has some pretty high burning, even a couple of days here into the event. People still haven't quite picked up on how good this map is. Just move yourself in a zigzag pattern through these long platforms. The spawn density is great. You're always going to be hitting mobs. And then both Yeti and Pink Bean have ways of getting back up with either the pogo stick, the jetpack, or just Yeti's ridiculous up jump. Any of them work, and you'll be able to hop, skip, jump, and dash your way through until level 100. And around level 100, pay attention to your rune, because that is when I would recommend doing your Zakum runs. For Pink Bean, I would heavily recommend doing it after level 100. For Yeti, it's kind of optional. Yeti's ridiculously strong. This dude could one-shot Zakum at level 90 if he wanted to, if you build up rage before you go in. Just make sure before you go into Zakum that you grab a rune. The rune will effectively make it so that if you go in at level 100, you're going to walk out of there at like level 106, 107. It's very, very nice, and that will let you skip on into the next area, where your Star Force is coming in handy. So this is the point where you want to work on your gear before moving on to the next training area. The first place you're going to be training with Star Force gear is the Hidden Dual Ghost Pirates map, which is Star Force 26. This map is fantastic because it is literally just a tall drop-down map. This doesn't really fall off either. You can stay here even with 0 burning until level 130. This really doesn't fall off. This map feels great for both Pink Bean and Yeti, and surprisingly enough, it's not all that crowded because there are alternatives in Ludi for good training maps. Once you're at the bottom, you just portal back to the top and just keep down jumping your way through the map. However, if this does fill up, the other 2 maps that I would recommend are Warped Passage for Yeti with the Gatekeepers, or the Forgotten Passage with the Thanatos if you're a Pink Bean. Thanatos is just 2 flat platforms. It works better for Pink Bean because you have your roly-poly skill, which likes going in straight lines. However, the Warped Passage here with the Gatekeepers is ideal for Yeti because there is a very occupied dance floor inspired rotation. You don't need your rage at all to full clear this map, and it is fantastic. Just jump, throw your book, and then just hop, skip, and jump back to the left. Take the portal over here back to the top, and you just rinse, repeat your pattern. Your book will always be up for this, and it'll be able to clear everything up there. Map feels great. Highly recommend it for Yetis as an alternative if the Ghost Pirates fill up. As well for Pink Bean, check out the Thanatos map if you're not a huge fan of drop-downing. It's pretty much the next best thing for you. And then at level 130 until 140, we're going to be bumping up the Star Force even higher to 55 Star Force with the Star Force Banes in the Cave of Trials 3. This is the really long map with lots and lots of Banes. However, this is steadily becoming a more and more popular map, so you might have to do some CCing around here to find a map. But if you can, this will do you wonders. This map is very, very good, but some people are not a fan of it, and this level range can feel kind of slow, so this is where I would recommend also doing the Korean Folktown sign quests and your Monster Park runs for the day. Because at this level range, you can do the Clandestine Ruins Monster Park, which will give you about 80% of a level, no matter what level you do it at, for this 130 to 140 range. Feels really good. As well, the KFT sign quest will get you about 4 to 5 levels. And that'll push you on to level 140, where you're heading into the hell levels, because there's really only one option, and it is the Kerning Tower. You got your pick of the litter. Literally any of these maps are good. They all work for both Pink Bean and Yeti. The worst one is definitely the hair rollers. That's your plan D. If everything else is full everywhere, plan D is go to the hair rollers. Even with no burning stage, these maps are fan-diddly-tastic for both Yeti and Pink Bean, and you'll honestly stay here for a long time. Good lord, that's a tanky elite, and I'm level 200. Let's get the heck out of here. And you can stay there until level 170, or at level 160, if you want to change of pace, you can move on up to Armory 2 in the Temple of Time. You can move to the future into any of the Armory maps. These all have 120 Star Force requirements. For Yeti and Pink Bean, I liked Armory 2 the best. It felt the best for the rotation. It's just 3 nice platforms, and not the worst for popularity. The larger of the Armory maps tend to be the more popular ones, so this nice medium-sized map is fairly low traffic. You're not going to run into too many people here, and this will help mop up the final few levels to get you to 170. And into the highest Star Force map, the reason we needed all of these gear pieces. The HO1 through 3 maps, pretty much any of these Star Force alien maps in Omega Sector, are your ticket to level 200. Every single one of these maps, either 1, 2, or 3, work for both Pink Bean and Yeti. They're all fantastic, and this is pretty much the best EXP you're gonna get, all the way to 200. However, if you're like me, I wouldn't want to stay in this one map for 30 whole levels to finish up a character. So at level 190, I moved again back to Grandis, this time into the Fox Valley, where I would recommend either Fox Treetop 1 or Fox Treetop 3. These maps are so densely compact with mobs, and if you were wondering, these are actually less tanky than the Star Force aliens. They do, however, give less EXP as a result. The benefit here is the spawn density. If you're able to full clear these maps, they are fantastic. I would highly recommend this first map here for Pink Bean, because you have the bigger mobbing skills with the higher mob counts that are up more often in these levels, because you have all of your skills unlocked. Pink Bean aces through this map. For Yeti, I would, however, recommend the Fox Treetop Path 3, an even less popular map. This one still has burning even, because this map is very, very good for Yeti. You can just drop your little summon duder here, and then you move on over to the right side while you're building up your rage. Just cycle your cooldowns, do some science, play some jazz, move on over, wait for the next spawn wave, and then you'll jump and throw a library book at these dudes. Drop down, punch them up, use your bomb, and you'll build up your rage that way. Once your rage is built up, you just go into Madge mode and you flash jump and you slap the entire map. Even though these mobs give less EXP than the Star Forest aliens, because there are so many of them compared to the aliens map, you are making up with quantity more than quality here. As long as you're keeping on top of your rotations, these maps will be competitive with the Star Force aliens, so you're not taking too much of a direct downgrade to your EXP rates. And these will carry you on into 200 nice and easy. Honestly, I am super happy this event came around, because, oh boy, I haven't played Pink Bean since the first time this event came out, and I was really fiending to play it again. And it exceeded my expectations. I had a ton of fun training on this event. Pink Bean took me a little over 12 hours to get to level 200, and Yeti came in just barely over 11 hours. I was hoping to get the sub 10, but it didn't quite work out. Yeti is far superior in the mobbing department, especially because Pink Bean really doesn't become a class until 160, but it's not so bad that it's going to be torturous to level. I hope this training guide helps. This is kind of a little different from what I normally do, because this is just an event server. I wanted to keep this shorter than a normal training guide so that people who just want the information quick and fast can get it. And I hope it helped. Honestly, there are so many people in this event server right now that finding places to train is honestly quite difficult, so having some off the beaten path recommendations through this might help someone. But I hope you guys enjoy Yeti and Pink Bean. Dude, I had a blast with these characters. And for me now, it's back to Demon Slayer. We gotta go back to leveling an actual Legion character. But as always, if you have questions about the Yeti or Pink Bean world, about playing either of these classes, about any of the training rotations or specifics, ask down below in the comments. I make it a point in these videos to answer any and all questions you guys might have, because, oh man, I love this game. Coming on my 18th year playing this game, and I am still overjoyed to play it. But happy mapling, enjoy Yeti and Pink Bean, and Godspeed, soldiers.